लाडले
Krishna
हरे
Rama
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare
Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram
Krishna
Ravle
Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram
Jaya Vrindavana Dham Jaya Vrindavana Dham Jaya Vrindavana Dham Jaya Vrindavana Dham
Vrindavan Dham Jaya Vrindavan Dham Jaya Vrindavan Dham Jaya Vrindavan Dham
Jaya Radhe Sham Jaya Radhe Sham Jaya Radhe Sham Jaya Radhe Sham
Radhe Shyam Radhe Shyam Radhe Shyam Jaya Radhe Shyam
Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Nitai Gaura Chandra Jaya Nitai Gaura Chandra Jaya Nitai Gaura Chandra Jaya Nitai Gaura Chandra
Jaya Nitya Gora Chandra Jaya Nitya Gora Chandra Jaya Nitya Gora Chandra Jaya Nitya Gora Chandra
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada
Prabhupada Prabhupada Prabhupada
Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gurudev भागवतम की, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयत्मुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। जन्मादियस्य यतन्वयादितरतश्चार्तेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदयाधिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरया तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। धर्माप्रोजितकैतवत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापोत्रयन्मूलनं। श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा पररीश्वरा सद्यो हृदयावृद्ध अत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तक्षणात्। निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरवो रसिका भुवि भावुका। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नित्यानन्दमहं नौमि सर्वानन्दकरं परं हरिनामाप्रदं देवम् अवधूताशिरोमणिम्। आनन्दलीलामयविग्रहाय हेमाम्बदिव्यछविसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेमरसाप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे। Hare Krishna. So, after Narad Muni heard about the exalted pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj heard from Narad Muni about the exalted pastimes of Srila Prahlad Maharaj, then there was further inquiry about the Varna and Ashram. Yudhishthira Maharaj inquired about what are the duties of the four social classes and the four spiritual classes, which are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and then Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. So he wanted to understand in detail what are the roles and responsibilities, duties of such personalities. Then Narad Muni, he describes about the what is a Brahmana. A Brahmana should make his livelihood by doing 6 occupational duties. And what are those 6 occupational duties? The principles of a Brahmana is worshipping the deity, then teaching others how to worship the deity, then studying the scriptures, Vedic literature, teaching the Vedic scriptures, then accepting charity from others and giving charity to others. So these are 6 duties of a Brahmana. Now one might question that ask today's situation, how can one practice such things? It is still possible. People are doing that. It's not that it's nothing impossible. If you want to remain as a Brahmana, you can, and there is a possibility how you can live as a Brahmana. Then the duty of a Kshatriya. What is the duty of a Kshatriya? The duty of the Kshatriya is to give protection to the citizens, and they can take taxes from the citizen, but not from the Brahmanas. Brahmanas are free from taxes usually. In the ancient time, when the kings were there, the Brahmanas were free from it. But these days it is not possible that the Brahmanas also charge the taxes. So what they will do? They also need to maintain their family. People when we go to the holy dham, people often ask, should we give to the Brahmanas or should not we give to Brahmanas? We should definitely give to the Brahmanas. They are living in the dham, they are living in the holy places, and the whole society has degraded because of which the Brahmanas are not able to practice their Brahmanical culture. So but they are trying their best. They are doing their best. If they are not there, if we go to dham and imagine the Brahmanas are not there at all, what will happen? So to support them, to maintain them, to take care of them, it is our duty as well. So those who are not in this profession, those who are businessmen, Vaishyas, they should support the Brahmanas. They should take care of them. That is the duty. So the members, the duty of a Kshatriya is to give protection to the citizens and to take taxes as well. Vaishyas, they have 3 businesses: Krushi, Goraksha, Vanijya. That is agriculture, taking care of the cows, and business. This is businessman is not a cup of anybody's tea. Business is meant for especially for those who are meant to be Vaishyas. Now we are not talking about someone who is born in a Brahmanical family has to necessarily Brahmana. No, we are not talking about that. We are talking about when person might be born in a Brahmanical family, but he can be Vaishya. So not necessary that one is qualification of a Brahmana by birth. No, we are talking here about the qualification of a Brahmana by activities. That is a very important thing to know. One cannot just become a Brahmana by being born in a Brahmanical family. Because being born in a Brahmanical family, there are Brahmana families who are eating meat, even beef. What to say? We cannot call them as Brahmana. Just by wearing a Yagyopavit, they are not termed as Brahmanas. Right? We can respect, just by respect everybody, we can respect them, but we cannot term them as Brahmana. Brahmana means one who follows in the Brahmanical culture is called a Brahmana. Brahma janeti iti Brahmana. We should know that. Then there is Shudras. Shudras means they should be serving all these 3 classes of men. Brahman, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, they are served by the Shudras. Then he discusses about Brahmacharya ashram, Grahastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram and Sannyas ashram. So Brahmacharya ashram is what? Brahmacharya ashram means now the current scenario, neither of these ashrams are following their duties nicely, but to some extent they are doing their best. Brahmacharya ashram means their first responsibility is to stay in the ashram of the Guru. When a child is, when a family has a boy, then the boy needs to be sent to Gurukul, and he is to at least till 25 years he gets proper education as he practices the vow of brahmacharya and he follows everything whatever his guru says. If your guru says eat, he will eat. If your guru says don't eat, he will not eat. So brahmacharya, the duty of a brahmachari is to study scriptures. Shastra Adhyan is the dharma of a brahmachari. So 25 years, first 25 years, the whole, if we assume that our whole life is for 100 years, then 25 years goes to brahmachari life. Then next 25 years is meant for grahastha life. There is a license for enjoyment is there in this 25 years of life. But that doesn't mean that the Supreme Lord cannot be in center. Supreme Lord should be in center. This is called as ashram. Brahmachari ashram, grahastha ashram, vanaprastha ashram and sannyasa. All are ashram. Ashram means a place where the Supreme Lord is attained. So now we'll go to grahastha ashram in little detail later on. So but after hearing a little about grahastha ashram, duty of the grahastha ashram is to also do his livelihood and try to be as much as possible remain Krishna conscious. Then comes vanaprastha. Now vanaprastha ashram, dharma of the vanaprastha ashram is tapasya. After 50, we are not saying that you go to the forest, because practically one cannot go to forest in this situation, in this age of Kali. It is not practically possible because there are hardly any forests left first of all. All the forests are turned into cities by the businessman community. What to do? So we cannot expect one to go to the forest. But what we can expect is at least vanaprastha can be in the heart. One can take vanaprastha in the heart. And one should try to remain, vanaprastha are two types. One with wife, one without wife. The husband and wife together can take vanaprastha from the family. They can give the responsibility of the family to the elder son, and they can go and stay in the holy dham and practice Krishna consciousness, practice the devotional service. Okay. Another kind of vanaprastha is that the husband, he gives the responsibility of his wife to the elder son, and he goes. And he goes to the forest alone and practice tapasya. So we need to understand grahastha ashram. As grahasthas, we know that we are into so many abominable activities as well. There are so many things which we are not supposed to be doing, but still we are engrossed in doing. And our senses get contaminated. And because our senses get contaminated, they just need to be purified. We discussed yesterday about 3 kinds of atonements. Right? As a grahastha, one commits a lot of sinful activities and they need to be atoned either by karma prayashit, jnana prayashit, bhakti prayashit. Best is the bhakti prayashit. So we need to understand that. And so in vanaprastha ashram, the goal of dharma of the vanaprastha ashram is doing tapasya, eating very, very less, chanting more number of rounds, sleeping on the floor, taking bath with cold water, not in a tub bath. There is tapasya, austerity is there. And absorbing more and more, eating very less than required, not that pizza, pasta all the time is going on. No, eating only what is required, not eating food from hotels, doing some tapasya, purifying the senses, basically purifying the senses, purifying the existence, serving the Lord 24 hours. And then in the sannyasa ashram, dharma of the sannyasa ashram is chit ki ekagrata. Chit ki ekagrata matlab means that fixing his mind unflinchingly in the lotus feet of the Lord. Not even for a moment he should think about anything else other than Krishna. Sannyasi means he should be fully absorbed in Krishna 24 hours. Nikunja yuno rati kela siddhar ya yale vir yuktir apekshniya tatradi dakshadati vallabhasya vande guru si charnarvinda. He should be expert in serving the Lord. He should be the vanaprastha ashram to sannyasa ashram. In the vanaprastha ashram, he does so much tapasya. He tries to fix his mind, purified sense, tries to fix his mind in Krishna. And then in the sannyasa ashram, he is absolutely fixing his mind in Krishna, not doing any business, no building of projects for a sannyasi, no big, no position, no. I'm sorry, this is what Bhagavatam says. I'm not saying. You can refer to 7.12 chapter. It says, Prabhupada very clearly says, also supporting that statement from Bhagavatam, no post, no positions for a sannyasi. Sannyasi means he should be fixed in Krishna and he should not be behind making disciples. He should not be you know, he should just fix his mind in Krishna, and whoever is ready, I mean, they are coming on their own by the will of the Lord, he can initiate them and he can continue his life. But he should not be behind any post, position, and he should be simply fixing his mind in Lord Krishna and preaching the glories of the Lord 24 hours a day, like offering his kaya, vacha, karmana, everything to Krishna. So, when Yudhishthira Maharaj heard that how sannyasis can attain perfection in life, Narad Muni is saying sannyasis of such caliber who are fixing his mind on Krishna, they attain perfection in their life, they attain the Supreme Lord's lotus feet. Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying that, Baba, how can I attain such position? Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying what? He is a grahastha. The problem with him, he is the grahastha. Yudhishthira Maharaj, what is he saying? He is saying grahastham etam padne vidina ena chanjasa yaya deva rashe brahi madrusha graha mudadi. He is saying that my situation is, what is my situation? My situation is that I am graha mudadi, I am an idiot. I am an ignorant fool. We are in so much ignorance as grahasthas, we are in so much ignorance. We think that by doing this little devotional service, we can come out of the cycle of birth and death. My dear, it is not that easy. Janma mrityu ka chakkar itna aasan nahi hai. It is the most difficult aspect is to get out of the cycle of birth and death. It is not that easy. So what happens is, but sometimes we grahasthas, we think that we are doing a lot. We are not doing anything actually. First of all, this thought process needs to be changed. We need to first understand our position. Our position is that we are fools. We are completely in Maya. We should understand our situation that we are in Maya. Maya means our senses are engaged in sense gratification and we are hardly engaged in doing the service of the Lord. We are hardly thinking of Krishna unless this understanding comes in our... And sometimes, many times what happens, when we see some saffron devotees, there's some sadhus, they're doing tapasya, they're doing their bhakti, we think that what is the difference between them and us? We are the same, We are all chanting 16 rounds, they're all chanting 16 rounds, they're doing the same. No, there is a difference. Their senses are not absorbed. They're 24 hours, they're trying their best to absorb in Krishna. And we as Grahastha, we have to do so many things. We have to tell lies in our business. We have to cheat people, plunder people. We have to do so many things. We have to, compromise on so many principles. And our nature, our consciousness becomes contaminated. Our heart becomes dirty because of our association with the material world. So that need should be purified. So Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying that, what should I do? So what is Narad Muni saying? Narad Muni is saying, Graheshvavastito rajan kriya kurvanyeto chita vasudevarpanam sakshat upasita mahamuni. What is Narad Muni's advice? Narad Muni is saying, my dear king, those who are staying at home as householder, what should they do? They should try to, instead of trying to enjoy the results of their own work, they should offer everything to Vasudevarpanam Sakshat. They should offer everything. So Krishna should be the center of the life. There should be altar in the house. There should be picture of the Lord in the house. Proper altar should be set up. Deities, if there are no deities in the house, then at least picture should be there. And the Guru Parampara should be there. Morning, evening, afternoon, there should be artik should be performed. Then one should, whatever is cooked in the house, it should be nicely cooked with good consciousness, without onion, garlic, and should be offered to the Supreme Lord, and then it has to be taken as prasad. Right? So Narad Muni is saying, Vasudevarpanam Sakshat, and offer everything to the Vasudev. Naturally, whatever comes to our home should be offered to Krishna. Even you are buying a shirt, a pant, a dhoti, a kurta, a phone, everything, offer everything to the Lord. That Lord, because of you, I am getting this. Thank you so much. Offer it. What is the problem? If you are buying shoes, new car, offer it to the Lord. Everything should be offered. Vasudevarpanam Sakshat means what? Everything should be offered to the Lord. Then it becomes prasad and then you can accept it. Lord is not going to take. Many times people think why we offer it to the Lord, everything belongs, so why need to offer to the Lord? So Lord will not take away. But people have questions that does Lord accept the offerings? said, yes, definitely Lord accepts the offering. He accepts it through his vision, through his eyes, he accepts it. But why does he accept, And why doesn't he take it away? Once the Giriraj Maharaj, he took away all the offerings of the Brajvasis. And the Brajvasis started saying to Krishna, "Arey, kaun-sa devta pujwa diya? Which God have you asked to worship? He's taking away everything. What will we eat?" He said, "Don't worry, he'll give it back. Everything he'll give it back. We are daridra. We are daridra. Bhikkari log hai hum log, garib log hai. And Lord knows that and when he accepts it and he gives it back in the form of prasad, so that our situation is changed. When we take prasad, our consciousness is improved, our intelligence is purified, and what happens to us? We, with purified intelligence, we do good things, with proper things we can do, and we can give justice to this ashram. So after discussing this particular thing about the householder life, there are so many things Narad Muni explains about householder life. What should a householder do? A householder should spend his time as much as possible in hearing about Krishna's name, fame, pastimes of the Supreme Lord. So Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking, how much time should he spend? Whenever he is getting time, he should go and sit in the association of devotees. And he says a very important thing. Vasudevar Panam Sakshat ho gaya, Upasita Mahamuni. Go and sit in the association of Mahamunis, the devotees of the Lord who are 24 hours singing of his name, fame, pastimes. One should go and sit in his association and purify his existence, because by seeing such a personality, one is purified and one develops a desire to aspire for Prema Bhakti. By seeing such a Uttama Bhakta, by seeing such a Mahabhagavata, one also develops a desire to attain Krishna. Because such devotees have captured Krishna in their heart. So we have to go and sit in the association of such devotees. What happens when we go and sit in such association? They discuss about Krishna. In their association, Krishna Katha has been discussed. And what is the source of Krishna Katha? Srimad Bhagavatam is discussed. So one should offer everything to Vasudev, and one should go and sit in the association of such Premi Bhaktas and surrender our life to them. Try our best to practice our bhakti under their direction. That is the perfection of the life. If in this human form of life, if we get such association of such Mahamunis, then that is the perfection of our Grahastha ashram. Not that having children, having property, having this and that, having Mercedes Benz and BMW cars is not the perfection of the life. Perfection of the Grahastha ashram is when, by the causeless mercy of the Lord, if we get association of such Mahabhagavata, such Mahamunis, and we can surrender our lives to such persons, and we can practice our Krishna consciousness under their guidance, then that is the perfection. Jivan ki sarvocha siddhi mani jayegi. That is the perfection of our Grahastha ashram. So that completes the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Further, 2 cantos to go. So further comes the pastimes of Gajendra. So Gajendra, there was a king called as Indradumna. And Indradumna Maharaj took Vanaprastha ashram. And Indradumna Maharaj was staying in the Malaya hills. Malaya hills, so many people used to do tapasya. They used to stay. Even Agastya Muni was staying there. Shukadeva Goswami has gone to Agastya Rishi to meet Agastya Rishi, and he has heard the Ajamil's pastimes on the Malaya hills. Shukadeva Goswami heard the Ajamil's pastimes on the Malaya Parvat from Agastya Rishi. So that whole Malaya Parvat is very, very auspicious. A lot of devotees there, they perform tapasya. So Indradumna Maharaj, Swami Indradumna, he was a king, and he took Vanaprastha and he was doing tapasya there. So Agastya Muni, he once happened to come to meet him, and he saw that he was in meditation, he was in trance, and he was not opening his eyes. Just like Parikshit Maharaj, when he went to the hermitage of Shamik Rishi, he was not opening his eyes. He was in trance. Same was the situation here. And here what did he do? King Agastya Rishi, he said, you rascal, you are not welcoming me. You go, you dumb person, you go and become an elephant. Now, this was all the, let me help you understand. Let us first further understand the story first. So when King Indradumna, he woke up, he understood that this thing happened, and he accepted that I have to become elephant. So he he left this body gradually and become the elephant in the next birth. So when he became an elephant, he was living a very luxury life, super luxury life, deluxe life. In Trikuta mountain, such a super big family was there, hundreds and hundreds of wives were there, she-elephants were there with him, and they used to spend the whole life very happily. All the lions and all the tigers and all the animals used to get scared when Gajendra used to come. Gajendra was the king. Gajendra, he was the king of the whole jungle actually. Usually the lions, they are the king, but during the time of Gajendra, Gajendra was so powerful that Gajendra was the king. And one fine day, time is very, very powerful. We might remain ourselves absorbed in sense enjoyment, and out of ignorance we might not know what big calamity is coming our way. Right? We don't know in next moment what is going to happen to us. We really don't know if we are going to be alive or also no. We might remain alive or we might not remain alive. So we really don't know. That's why we should always prepare ourselves for the ultimate destination, the goal, that is when we give our life, we should be able to attain Krishna. So we should always remain Krishna conscious. So when Gajendra, he was enjoying his family in the water. He was having some water sport, and while he was playing with his wonderful family, he was taking the water with the help of his trunk and showering on his wives and children. Everything was very happy. And all of a sudden, a crocodile came from behind and caught hold of Gajendra's feet. And he caught hold of Gajendra's feet in such a way that Gajendra was not able to leave it. And all of the family left Gajendra behind and went on the shore, and Gajendra was all alone in the middle with the crocodile trying to pull the legs. Unusual situation. Our life is also like that. Do not think that all of this, my friends and relatives, are going to come and save. When the time of death comes, nobody can save you. Nobody can save you. Gajendra was in a painful situation. He and that crocodile were fighting for life with each other. The battle went for 1,000 years. It was a long battle. And when Gajendra, while he was battling for his life, there was a time when he realized that he is not in a position to go any further. His energy is gone. Everything is over for him. At that time, Gajendra, by the will of the Lord, he remembered a prayer which he used to chant in his previous birth as King Indradumna. He was chanting a mantra which was 40 slokas, and he remembered that. And Gajendra, in this, as an elephant, he remembered that only by the will of the Lord can one remember this. And he remembered that, and he started to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when Gajendra was glorifying the Supreme Lord, the Devatas came there, and they were in the sky. And Devatas were watching the fun. And Gajendra was telling, "Oh my dear Lord Hari, please come and protect me. Please come, please come, please come." And the Devata like Indra were saying, "Ye dekho, Bhagwan ko time hai. He thinks Krishna is going to come. Lord Hari is going to come for a call of an elephant. There are so many yogis that are doing tapasya, and for him, he is not available to them. And this elephant is calling. What murkha hai. He doesn't have any sense. He should call us. We are here. We are watching him. He should call us." All the devatas and others were saying, "He should call us, man. We are here. Yeah, we are not going to help unless he calls us. He should just say, 'Oh Indra, please come, and I'll come and help him.'" But they were not going. This is the nature of the material world. Try to understand, take the lessons from this. This is the nature of the material world. When we are in trouble, what happens? Nobody comes. When your time is good, everybody is around you. When you have money, when you have post, when you have positions, everybody is around you. Jai ho, jai ho, jai ho. When the position goes away, your defamation comes, times changes in your life, everybody will go away, including your own very relatives, your dear friends, everybody will go away. Sometimes the wife also goes away. Sometimes the husband also gives the wife up. What to do? Material world, nature of the material world. सब स्वार्थी लोग हैं. all the people are selfish in this world. All these relationships are all selfish. They're all selfish relationships. Nobody has true caring and for each other. Everybody wants something from the relationship for themselves. And everybody wants to derive happiness from some other relationship. No relationship is pure here. Only relationship with the Bhagavan, Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, is pure. With whatever consciousness you should, even Putana, she came as a demon. She came in disguise as a mother. She came to kill Krishna, but Krishna gave her a position of a mother in the spiritual world. Even she was pretending to be a devotee, Krishna gave her a position of a mother. That is Krishna consciousness. So imagine if we can become a genuine devotee and we can perform devotional service to the Lord, what benefit we will not get. So Gajendra, he was struggling for his life and he was offering his prayers. Imagine, crocodile is trying to catch you. He was trying to eat you up. He's want to finish you, and then you have started offering prayers. And when this Indra and all the demigods, when they were making fun of Gajendra, just at that time, Lord Hari, when Gajendra was just about to give up his life, he was just about to die. He was just completing his final few shlokas, and the final few shlokas were there. He had no hopes at all that he will survive, and he was just glorifying the Lord. He just wanted to let me die glorifying the Supreme Lord. And he was praying, "Oh my dear Lord Hari, oh my dear Lord Hari." And just at that time, when the demigods were making fun of that, Gajendra was about to die. At that time, Lord entered the sky with Garuda on it. And when Supreme Lord saw Gajendra was about to die, he said, "Garuda, you are too slow." And the Lord jumped from the Garuda, and he went further. He picked up Gajendra from the water, brought him on the shore, and cut the head of that crocodile with his Sudarshan Chakra and saved Gajendra. So that is the glories of Gajendra. And when Gajendra, when Gajendra saw the Supreme Lord in that position, Gajendra picked up a lotus, about to die, and he saw the Supreme Lord Hari has come, and he picked up the lotus flower, and he said, "I don't know, my dear Lord, till you come here, I might leave." So he just picked up lotus flower, and he offered the lotus flower to the Lord. He said, "Govindaya namo namo, my dear Lord, please accept this offering." And the Lord, what to say, the Lord, he chastised the Indra and others. He's saying, "You rascals, you fools, my devotee is in trouble, and you are thinking that it is your duty, you should go and serve my devotees. You will get purified, you are existentially purified." And then the demigods asked for forgiveness. So then, further comes the pastimes of churning of the milk ocean. Once the Devatas, they lost because they offended Durvasa Rishi. Indra, as usual, Indra offended Durvasa Rishi, and they lost the kingdom, everything, and they went to the Supreme Lord. And Supreme Lord, the demigods appealed for the protection of the Lord, and the Lord told that, "Look, you have to perform some churning of the ocean. So you go and shake hands with the demons." Bali Maharaj was the leader of the demons, and so Indra and Bali Maharaj, they sat together for the first time probably, and they were discussing. Because the Lord told Indra, go to the Bali Maharaj, tell him that there should be churning of the ocean needs to take place, because a lot of things will come out from the churning of the ocean, and go and have an agreement with them. So the demons and the demigods, they both sat together. They had an agreement. Principally, they agreed on how to do it. So Mandrachal Parvat was supposed to be brought. And Vasuki Nag was supposed to be used as a rope, and Mandrachal Parvat was supposed to use as a rod to churn the ocean, and from the ocean of milk. And while the churning the ocean of the milk, a lot of things were supposed to come out. So it was all agreed, and they all the devatas and the demigods, they went together to bring the Mandrachal mountain, and they could not lift. While coming on the way, many of them lost their lives. Then the Lord came. The Supreme Lord came, and on the Garuda, he picked up that Mandrachal mountain with his hand and placed it where the Mandrachal has to be there. And then they started churning. The Vasuki Nag was brought in, and the Vasuki Nag was used, and they were churning started churning. And by the trick of the Lord, the devatas were the devatas, the devatas and the demigods were nicely arranged, and the churning started, and a lot of things started coming from it. And the Lord told them that the churning is mainly done for one thing, to getting the nectar. The devatas and the demons, they both wanted one thing, nectar. Nectar means by drinking the nectar, one will become immortal. And for that immortality, it was the churning was going on. So when the churning was going on, lot of things came. The horse came from it. So many things came out from him. Apsaras came from it. Lakshmiji also came from it. So when Lakshmiji came from it, while the churning of the ocean was going on, so there are so many other. Once what happens when the churning initially began, the Mandarachal mountain went inside. So then the Lord, as Kurma avatar, came, and then he became the pivot for that, and then the Mandarachal mountain was placed on that, and the churning happened. And the Lord himself sat on the top of the Mandarachal mountain. The Lord was behind, okay, and underneath the Mandarachal as Kurma, on the top he was there as Ajita, and the churning was happening. And then what happened was that while the churning was going on, so many things came out from it. Gradually, a horse came out. Uchchishrava, called as horse, came out. Bali Maharaj took that horse. Apsaras came out, which were taken by the devatas. So it was alternative. Whatever came out, one was going to the devatas, one was going to demons, and sometimes the devatas and the demons were both fighting. Hey, I want this, I want this, I want this, and they were fighting, and that was going on. Finally, Dhanvantari Bhagavan came out with a pot of nectar, and as soon as the Lord Dhanvantari came, can you close the door, please? And as soon as the Bhagavan Dhanvantari came out from the, sit down, they will do it. And as soon as Dhanvantari Bhagavan came out with a pot of nectar, all the demons and the demigods said, wow, finally our World Cup is here. That's the whole thing, they were doing for. And so what happened? The demons, they took away, they stealed it from Bhagavan Lord Dhanvantari. And then the devatas said, now what we should do? But the demonic mentality people, when they got such a nectar, they should drink it and finish it off. But they started fighting among each other. And while the fighting was going on, the Lord again took the fourth incarnation, and he came as Mohini Murti. Imagine Supreme Lord became a woman. And she was so beautiful. That when she came there, all these demons, they were bewildered. And she was walking amongst them and asking them, what is your name? What is your name? And they were asking to her, where are you coming from? Now nectar to choda, abhi nectar of devotion mil gaya. Now that nectar became insignificant. Now this nectar of devotion, the Supreme Lord is there in front of, in the form of a woman. Imagine how Supreme Lord is already Bhagavan Shada Aishwarya Purna, and he can, when somebody comes in, when the Jivatma gets his darshan, he's so beautiful. And imagine that Supreme Lord has taken a form of a woman to bewilder the demons. How beautiful she might be. And the demons, they thought that the goal of life there was to get the nectar. And they said, Yara, forget about nectar. If I get her in marriage, if she becomes my wife, aisa nectar ko kya avashyakta hi nahi hai. We don't want such nectar. What should I do with such nectar? They all of them unanimously, they took the nectar and they gave it to Mohini and said, you decide. Whatever you want to do, we'll accept. Just become ours. और कुछ नहीं चाहिए जिंदगी में हम लोग को. If we just want you. And then Mohini Murti said, what if I go and give this nectar to the demigods? Are you do whatever you want. We have no problem. You go now and give it to the demigods. You give the nectar there and you come here. So they were very happy. They were very happy that Mohini is going to be with them. So who wants that nectar? So then the Mohini went and gave the nectar to the demigods. Devatas all drank it. And while this distribution was going on, one of the asuras, one of the demons came and sat between the sun and the moon. And he got that nectar. He drank that nectar. And as soon as he was identified, Mohini Murti took out the Sudarshan and cut off the head, and the upper part became Rahu and the below part became Ketu. That's how Rahu and Ketu are. So And then from that nectar also, from that churning also came the poison, and it was drank by Lord Shiva. This was before this was before. I forgot to mention that this was before. So, and that's why Lord is called as Nilakanta. So when the when the nectar was drank by the demigods, then there was a fight between both of them. There was it was like a Mahabharata war there on the upper planetary systems. The devatas and the demons were fighting with full strength, and in that battle, Bali Maharaj lost the life. Bali Maharaj was dead. Bali Maharaj. So when Bali Maharaj died, what happened? Indra became very happy. Indra celebrated everything. They went and they celebrated the war. The war ended. So Bali Maharaj, his associates took Bali Maharaj to Shukracharya ji. Now Shukracharya ji, he knew the science of Mrita Sanjeevani Vidya. Now, if the body of a person is intact, it is not cut from any places. If body is intact, then Shukracharya had an capacity to bring that person back to life. And Shukracharya brought Bali Maharaj back to life. Imagine a person who brings you back to life. What will happen? You will be indebted to that person. And Bali Maharaj became indebted to Shukracharya ji. And he started serving his Gurudev Shukracharya with his body, mind and action. With all his capacity, he started serving with Shukracharya ji. And Shukracharya ji became so pleased with him, he said, I will make you Indra. And he said, start the Vijitashva Yajna. He called all the Brahmanas, and Vijitashva Yajna was performed. And Vijitashva Yajna was performed to conquer the whole world. And Bali Maharaj started that Yajna. When the Yajna was complete, he got all the divine powerful weapons, and then Shukracharya told Bali Maharaj, now you go with all your army and you can take over the Indra's abode, Swargaloka. So Bali Maharaj, now till this time, Indra had no idea that Bali Maharaj was alive and all. He thought that the match is over, he has won, and he was celebrating, he was enjoying sense enjoyment with Apsaras and all the Devatas and his wife. He was enjoying his life. जिसको दिख गया समझ गया. And he had no idea. He has no idea that he was thinking that Bali is dead, and now there was no powerful demon who could fight against him. So for him the battle is over, and all other demons were like insignificant demon. They could be killed like this, very from baye haath ka khel hai. So when Bali reached the Indra's abode, and he surrounded Indra's abode from all the directions, from all the 8 directions, Bali surrounded Indra's abode. And then he played his conch shell. And when Indra heard Bali's conch shell, he got a shock of his life. And he went and he came out and he went to confirm that, is it Bali? And he saw that, yes, it's Bali, and Bali is alive. How can Bali be alive? So he went and called Brajsundar ji, Gurudev, aaye dekhiye, please see, Bali is alive. We were thinking that Bali is gone, but see, Bali is alive. And then Brahspati saw Bali, and then he saw that Bali is not only alive, but he is more powerful. And he was saying that I can see 2 Shukracharyas. I think Shukracharya has empowered Bali to that extent that all his Shaktis, all his powers are now with Bali. So Indra was asking Gurudev, so what should we do? Should we fight? He said, are you mad? Do not fight. Just give up the kingdom to Bali and you go from here. And then when will we get the kingdom back? When Bali rejects his Guru, that time you will get your kingdom back. Right now, at that time Brahaspati said, even Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot defeat Bali, because Bali is being supported by the Brahmanas. So then Supreme Lord cannot be killed, cannot kill Bali. So Bali Maharaj, he conquered the kingdom. And then Shukracharya was very smart. He first gave the kingdom of Swarga to Bali, and then he said Now start other Ashwamekha Yagyas. Because only that person can become Indra who has performed 100 Ashwamekha Yagyas. So he first made Shukracharya, Bali Maharaj as the king of the three worlds. He made him Indra, and then he started sacrifices. One by one, one by one, one by one, and one by one. And what happened? Aditi, the mother of the demigods, she was very sad and morose, and she went to Kashyap Muni, her husband, and said that, how can I get my kingdom back? My children have no house, and so please do something. So Kashyap Muni asked her to perform Payovrata. And Payovrata, the Lord, Supreme Lord manifested in front of her, and the Lord told her that, Kisi ko bolna nahi, I will do everything you want. The Lord said that I will come as your son Vamandev and take away everything from Bali. Don't tell this to anybody. Just keep it with you. At an appropriate time, the Lord said, I'll come as Vamandev and take away everything from Bali, and I will give it to Indra. And I said, okay. So she was pacified. So when Bali was performing his 100th Ashwamekha Yagya, the 100th sacrifice was going on. And all, imagine, just go to that assembly where the biggest yagya is going on, and all the brahmanas were there, all the Vedic mantras are chanted, and Shukracharya was under the guidance of Shukracharya ji, Bali was performing that yagya. Just imagine the situation. And at that time, all of a sudden, a brahmana boy, very young boy, 6-7 years old, a brahmana boy comes there on the picture. But when he comes there, as if hundreds of sons together have come. So the Vamandev, as soon as he comes, all the great personalities who were there, they stopped the yagya and they stood up and said, offered respects. Shukracharya did not initially realize, who is this boy? And then when he asked, Bali Maharaj said, what do you want? Vamandev said, I have come here to see your sacrifice. You're very nice, you're doing the 100th Ashwamekha Yagya. I'm very pleased, I'm come here to witness it. I said, yes, but what do you want? Well, I just want a small 3 pieces of land, 3 pieces of land from my feet, 1, 2, 3. That's it. Bali Maharaj is saying, Baba, you are coming to Bali. Little Brahmana, you are coming to Bali. And my definition of charity is that if I give charity to someone, that person should be so sufficiently given everything that he never in his life goes to anybody else. So Bali Maharaj said, you ask anything from me. What do you want? You want Tino Lok, the whole 3. He very proudly was telling. Bali was telling out of pride that all the 3 worlds belong to me. One shall not be proud of one's possessions. If you're proud of one's post and positions, money and everything, the Lord will come and take it away. If the Lord does not take, the time itself is so powerful, it will take it away. One shall not be proud of one's positions. What happened? Bali Maharaj is saying, ask anything you want. You want girl in marriage? He said, no, I don't want girl in marriage. What do you want? You want, I can give you cities, towns, desh de sakta hu. What do you want? I can give you this planetary system. What do you want? He said, no, I'm satisfied with 3 pieces of land. Bali Maharaj started to laugh. He said, okay, at least measure the land from my feet. Your feet are too small. What will you do measuring the land from your feet? A little boy. Where is that little boy? He just gone out. If he just walks 3 feet, 3 steps, how much that land will be? So Bali Maharaj said, at least take land from my feet, little more larger. But Shukracharya, he was hearing this conversation of this 3 feet, and he calculated 3 feet. This is Vishnu. This is Vishnu. He is coming on the behalf of the demigods and taking away everything from you, Bali. He immediately went and started, Bali, do not do this. He is Vishnu himself. And Bali Maharaj said, good. If he is Vishnu himself, nothing like that. What is the problem? He said, don't give anything to him. And then he explained to him, Shukracharya ji, Niti. He was explaining the 25% should be kept for emergency, 25% for daily use. So he was explaining all the nitis. How should a grahastha should utilize this money? You should not give everything in charity to the brahmanas. Otherwise, how will he survive? And forget about you, how will I survive? I am your brahmana, I am your purohit. What about me? Huh? So do not do this nonsense business. He is Vishnu himself. Now when someone advises you to worship, not to worship Vishnu, then that person should be rejected. Bali Maharaj was so much indebted to Shukracharya that he brought him back to life. He gave him the position of Indra. He was performing 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas. Shukracharya was doing everything. Bali Maharaj was very much okay with that. But to the point, when Shukracharya said not to worship Lord Vishnu, Bali Maharaj, although he was a demon, he said, sir, you are wrong. Everything is for the pleasure of Vishnu. Even if I don't give him, he is come here to take it and he will be successful. So let me give him and become glorious. What is the problem with you? He said, Shukracharya became so upset. He said, you rascal, you Srihin ho jayega. You will lose all your opulence. After 2 minutes, Vaman is going to take everything. So your curse has no value in one sense. And he became very upset. And Bali Maharaj rejected Shukracharya ji. He was so much indebted to Shukracharya. But when he said, don't worship Krishna, don't worship Vishnu, such rascals should be rejected. If there are people in this world who say, worship me. There are people who say, the Lord has no form. There are so many people who say that I am the Supreme Lord, I am this, I am that. And what is the form of Krishna and Ram? This Bhagavan Nirakar hai. There is no form with the Lord. Lord is just energy, this and that. There is so many people, they just say such kind of philosophy. But Supreme Lord has a form. When you understand from Bhagavatam, Supreme Lord has 3 forms. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Sabhyate. That light, that energy is the effulgence of the Lord. That whenever there is a bulb, from the bulb comes a light. So there are 3 categories of students. We need to understand this. 3 categories of students. First student is one who understands that the Supreme Lord is only light. So their consciousness is only till then, that limit. There are next category of student, advanced level, who understand the Supreme Lord is light. At the same time, he is there in the heart of every living entity as Paramatma. Then there is third category of student who are highest. They understand Supreme Lord as Brahman. They understand Supreme Lord as Paramatma, but they also understand that he has a supreme form. He has a 2-armed form as Krishna. And from him comes all the Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Karnodaksha Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu, all the avatars come from Krishna. So that he's the most advanced student. So Bali Maharaj rejected Shukracharya. And he gave the 3 pieces of land to Vamandev. And Vamandev, he expanded himself in the Trivikrama form. He became a huge, gigantic form. And with his two steps itself, he conquered the whole 3 planetary systems. And he asked Bali, where should I keep my 3rd step, Bali? Complete your promise. And the Bali Maharaj also looking at the Trivikram form of the Lord. But when Bali Maharaj offered, when he understood that he is Lord Vishnu, and Bali Maharaj offered the whole 3 planetary system, the whole kingdom of the planetary system to Lord Vamanadev, at that time all the devatas came there and showered flowers on Bali Maharaj. Because he knew, although he knew that he is Supreme Lord and everything is going to go, he gave it lovingly. That is called as Atma Nivedanam. He gave everything to Supreme Lord Sri Hari. So we should also give everything to Supreme Lord Hari. Sarva dharman parittajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva pape mokshishami masucha. Everything has to be given. When you want, because if you don't give, then in our prarabdha, if things are going to go away, this Lord is going to protect us. He is going to maintain us. Krishna is a maintainer, Krishna is a protector of our life. Draupadi, she was in the middle of a situation. She had 5 Pandavas as her husband. She was in the assembly where Bhishma Dev, Dronacharya and big personalities were there. And she was being made naked in that whole assembly. And that time she realized that nobody is nobody in our life. Only Krishna is the supreme protector. She took complete shelter of Krishna, and Krishna came and protected her. Initially she was thinking that she will be in a position to help herself, protect herself. But when she realized that Dushasana had strength of 1,000 elephants, then she gave it up. And she simply took shelter of the holy name of the Lord. She took shelter of Krishna. And Lord Krishna came and protected Draupadi. We might be in a situation where we might lose everything in our life. But if we are devotees of the Lord will protect us. He will maintain us in all the circumstances. So Bali Maharaj surrendered everything, and then the Lord arrested Bali. Because he was not able to fulfill the promise, complete the promise. The Lord arrested Bali. He told Garuda, arrest Bali Maharaj. So Bali was arrested. So Brahma, everybody came. All the devatas came. Brahma came. Shiva came. Everybody came to meet Bali, to see the situation. And they all glorified the Supreme Lord Vamanadev and requested Lord Vamanadev, chhod do abhi. Leave him. Enough of test. You have tested him. Enough now. So Lord was very pleased with Bali Maharaj, and Lord said, Bali, you are very devoted to me. The Bali was the son of Virochana, and Virochana was the son of Prahlad Maharaj. So Bali Maharaj was actually the seed of devotional service in the heart of Bali was planted by Prahlad Maharaj. And then Bali Maharaj, although he was a demon, but he, by the mercy of Prahlad Maharaj, by spending time in his association, by Shravanam, Kirtanam, Jal Karaya Sechana, by constantly associating with Prahlad Maharaj, he was always hearing about Krishna's name, fame, glories of the Supreme Lord. And what happened by doing that? Bali Maharaj's seed, which was planted in his heart, became a tree, and it yielded fruit. And what was the fruit? That Lord Vamanadeva personified Supreme Lord Sri Hari. He came to Bali himself. You understanding? That the fruit of that devotion of Bali Maharaj was that Lord Vamanadeva personally came, and he gave darshan to Bali Maharaj. So that is the Bali Maharaj's glories. And then Bali Maharaj now is currently in Sutal Loka. The Lord asked Bali Maharaj that let's go to Sutal Loka. I will be with you. Sutal Loka is very opulent than Indra Loka actually. And the Lord tell that next Indra will be you. So don't worry now. Now we'll be in Sutal Loka. So right now the Supreme Lord, as Vamanadev, stays with Bali Maharaj in Sutal Loka. He's called as Upendra, but he spends most of his time with Bali Maharaj. So that completes the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Now, in the 9th canto of Bhagavatam, there is the marriage of Sukanya and Chavan Muni. How many of you heard of Chavan Prash? So Chavan Prash, the founder of Chavan Prash, was Chavan Muni. So once Chavan Muni was an old man in his ashram, and he used to do tapasya. He was doing tapasya for a good amount of time. So while doing his tapasya, there was a big ant hill like structure was created because of him absorbed in tapasya. Small mountain was created. So Sukanya along with her father once came to meet Sharayati. He came to meet Sukanya. So along with Sukanya, the Sharayati came to meet Chavan Muni. And they all were visiting Chavan Muni, and they did not know where is Chavan Muni. Chavan Muni was doing tapasya. And this very young daughter, Sukanya, she was playing around, and she picked up a stick, and she saw that in a mountain-like structure, there were two eyes which were two eyes were visible. And what I'll say, light was coming from that mountain, and he saw that she wanted to check what is it. So she took the stick and she put it inside, and then it hurt the eyes of Chavan Muni. And then when Chaman Muni was still inside and he did not come out, but all these people, they started having difficulty with their health. All this rishis and all this Raja and all, they were got difficulty with their health, and they realized what happened. And then they understood that Sukanya had did this, and then she understood that Sukanya actually penetrated the eyes of Chavan Muni. So they brought Chavan Muni outside, they begged forgiveness, but Chavan Muni was very, very offended. And then her father offered Sukanya to Chavan Muni. Chavan Muni was old, Sukanya was young. अब ये कैसे होगा? And Chavan Muni was very irritable person. Very irritable person. For a small thing he used to get upset. And she was very young, beautiful. Raja, she was a daughter of a king, and he was Fakkad Baba as usual. Fakkad Baba. I mean, he was, tapasvi, ugly looking person. But then, seeing the situation of the family, Sukanya accepted him as husband and served him accordingly. For a wife, it is very important that to understand the temperament of the husband. He might be irritable. There is a secret. If she talks nicely, if she talks sweetly, cooks nicely, then she can bring anybody under the control. Zaban samal ke. So Sukanya, she understood the temperament of Chavan Muni, that this personality is like this, and to please him, I need to serve him nicely. So she did her best and pleased Chavan Muni to that extent that Chavan Muni was very pleased with her. And once Ashwini Kumar came to meet Chavan Muni, and Chavan Muni requested that please make me beautiful like you, because my wife is beautiful, I am so ugly. Because once Chavan Muni was taking bath and he saw himself in the river, and he thought, oh my God, I am so ugly. And then Chavan Muni, when Ashwini Kumar came, that make me like you. And Ashwini Kumar, then they took Chavan Muni in a lake, and then he dipped him in the lake, and when he came out, Chavan Muni, when he came out, he was looking exactly like Ashwini Kumar. So all three of them were sitting in the ashram, and Sukanya went out to get some. She came out. She went, when she came back from some work, she saw that there are three personalities were sitting, and the Ashwini Kumar started speaking to her, saying, either of one is your husband and two are Ashwini Kumar. You find out. And then she offered obeisances to Ashwini Kumar, saying, please don't test me like this. I'm a chaste woman. I just want to serve my husband. And then Ashwini Kumar left from there, said that. So Chavan Muni became very handsome and gorgeous looking person. And then they happily lived thereafter. That's how the movies end, right? So I had to also end the movie like that. Then came the story of the pastimes of Amrish Maharaj. Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Rishi was Durvasa Rishi. There was nobody like him. He might get pleased very easily, and he used to get disturbed very easily. It is very difficult to identify, very difficult to please such a person. We don't know when the situation changes, when such personalities are there like Durvasa. We don't know how to deal with such people. There are still incarnations of Durvasa Rishi around us also. And we don't know how to deal with that. But sometimes they're very happy, sometimes the mood is very different, and then sometimes they say very good words about you, and then after sometimes they also say nasty things about you. So that is such nature's personality are around us also. So we have to be very, very careful. So Durvasa Rishi, he was a very big yogi. Very powerful yogi. He had a lot of siddhis with him. He could do anything in the world. He was Rudransha. He was Rudra Avatar. He was very, very powerful, Durvasa. And Durvasa, once what he was doing, he went to meet Amrish Maharaj. Amrish Maharaj was doing Ekadashi Vrat. And he was doing this for 1 complete year. He was fasting on Ekadashi completely. There is 5 days of Ekadashi. When Ekadashi begins 2 days before and it ends after Dwadashi. So it's a 5-day complete package of Ekadashi. For us, Ekadashi is just 1 day, that too a change of diet. What is for us Ekadashi? Ekadashi is a change of diet, right? Ekadashi, if we do Ekadashi nicely, we can see magic in our life. If we want to see magic in our life, then we should do Ekadashi nicely. If we do Ekadashi with Nirjala, best. If not, at least Sajala. If we can do Ekadashi with Sajala, then what will happen? Our heart will be purified by that tapasya. We will be purified by doing tapasya for the Supreme Lord. And the next day, when you get up and take prasad, and that you will feel so much bliss the next day in your heart, that Ekadashi is such a miraculous thing. It can bring lot of miracles in your life. If you want to see magic in your Krishna conscious life, do Ekadashi nicely. So Durvasa Muni, when he came there, Ambrish Maharaj was about to break his fast. And when he was about to break his fast, Durvasa Rishi came at the right time. Ambrish Maharaj thought, good, Durvasa Rishi is here, we will serve him nicely. And then I will feed him and then I will take prasad. Because that was the time when, and Ambrish Maharaj was in Vrindavan. Ambrish Maharaj was spending the time in Vrindavan at that time. His palace was in Vrindavan. And Ambrish Maharaj, he welcomed Durvasa Muni, but Durvasa Muni said that I will go and come back. I will go take bath and come back. So when Ambrish Maharaj when Durvasa Rishi went there, he very well knew that there is a short span of time left with Ambrish Maharaj to break his parana. So Durvasa Rishi went and he purposely started spending more time in Yamuna. He took his bath in Yamuna and he was in samadhi. He's pretending to be in samadhi. And then he was looking at the time that as the time of parana goes away, I want to see what Ambrish Maharaj does. So Ambrish Maharaj was in a difficult situation. Atiti Devo Bhava. Atiti was there. Without feeding him, he cannot eat. So he consulted the Brahmanas. And the Brahmanas told him that, Ambrishji, you drink water. By drinking water, you break the fast and at the same time you don't break the fast. So Ambrish Maharaj drank the water. Durvasa Rishi, when he came back, he saw that Ambrish Maharaj has drank the water. And he got upset because of just the water. So when Ambrish Maharaj, when he tried to console him, pacify him, Durvasa Rishi said, no, you rascal, you committed offenses against me. And he manifested a demon from his power and he said that demon, go and kill Ambrish Maharaj. And so when that demon approached Ambrish Maharaj, suddenly Supreme Lord Sudarshan Chakra came behind Ambrish Maharaj and it protected Ambrish Maharaj to that extent that it burned that demon to ashes and that Sudarshan Chakra started going behind Durvasa Rishi. Now Durvasa Rishi was such a powerful personality, he was such a yogi that he can do anything in the world, he can create universe also. He was that powerful. But that Durvasa Rishi was chased by Sudarshan Chakra. So Durvasa Rishi was going from here and there. He went through all the 8 planetary systems. He went through all the 8 directions. He went through 14 lokome, all the 14 planetary systems he went. He looked for protection everywhere, but there was no protection available. Finally, Durvasa Rishi decided to go to Brahmaloka, Lord Brahmaji's abode. He went to Brahmaloka, offered obeisances to Brahmaji. Brahmaji, please save me. I said, what happened? He said, I committed offenses against Ambrish Maharaj. He said, go from here. They have no place here. You go from here. Move on, move on. And where should I go? This Sudarshan is burning me. He said, don't wait here. The more you wait here, my abode will burn here. So you go from here. Hello, where should I go? Well, you belong to Lord Shiva. Go to Shiva. So Durvasa Rishi went to Lord Shiva's abode. And Lord Shiva, when he saw Durvasa coming, he said, wow, Durvasa is coming. But when he saw Sudarshan coming behind it, what happened? What did you do? He said, I just offended Ambrish. You rascally offended Ambrish. Go from here. Don't stay here. But I am your avatar. I am your Anshas. I said, I did not tell you to do all these things. You go from here. So Durvasa Rishi said, where to go? Oh Lord Shiva, where should I go? And he said, this Sudarshana belongs to Lord Vaikunthanath. So you go and take shelter of Vaikunthanath. So Durvasa Rishi, as I said, Durvasa Rishi went to Prapanchika Vaikunta, local Vaikunta, not the Maha Vaikunta. He went to Vaikunta. The Lord was there. The Lord was there. And Durvasa Rishi, he surrendered completely to Supreme Personality of Godhead. He said, my dear Lord, I take complete shelter of your lotus feet. I offer myself to you. Sarva dharman parittajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papeva mokshishai masacha. My dear Lord, you said in the Bhagavad Gita that we shall give everything to you and surrender to you. Today I have come and I am surrendering completely my yogic powers and everything to your lotus feet. I do not want to use my powers anymore. I surrender to you, Lord, my dear Lord, please accept me and please protect me. And the Lord said, I'm sorry, Durvasa, but I just can't help you. I said, this was the first time in the history that someone has surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord and the Supreme Lord refused to give protection. And the Lord asked, what is the problem? I said, you offended my devotee Ambrish. And you know Ambrish, he resides in my heart and I reside in his heart. Ambrish has captured me in his heart. Offending Ambrish, if you offend me, I can tolerate that. But if you offend Ambrish, I cannot tolerate that. So even I cannot stop Sudarshan Chakra. Sudarshan is doing his business given to him. So he is going to burn you. So my dear Lord, I am surrendered to you. What should I do? And at that time the Lord said, go and take shelter of Ambrish Maharaj. If Ambrish Maharaj can help you, protect you, only he can save you from Sudarshan. So Durvasa Rishi got up from there, from Vaikunta, and straight he went and fell at the lotus feet of Ambrish Maharaj. Ambrish Maharaj, for 1 complete year, he drank only water. That 1 year passed by in all these pastimes of Durvasa Rishi. 1 complete year, he waited for Durvasa Rishi to come back. What a confidence that he will come back. I was surprised that Ambrish Maharaj had faith that he will come back. So Ambrish Maharaj waited for him and he drank only water. And that time Durvasa Rishi surrendered to Ambrish Maharaj and said, please forgive me. Today I have understood the glories of bhakti, the glories of bhakta like you, and the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Bhagavan. Today I have understood. Please forgive me, my dear Ambrish Maharaj. I offended you. And Ambrish Maharaj lifted Durvasa Rishi, embraced him, but Sudarshan was still glowing. So Ambrish Maharaj started offering prayers to Sudarshana. And Sudarshana still was not getting pacified. Then Ambrish Maharaj said, if the Supreme Lord is pleased by my devotion, then hey Sudarshan, you please be pacified and go back. And as soon as he said that, definitely Supreme Lord is pleased with Ambrish's devotion, then Ambrish Maharaj, by hearing the words of Ambrish Maharaj, Sudarshan Chakra went back. And Ambrish Maharaj welcomed Durvasa Rishi home. He served him, washed his lotus feet, fed him prasad, and ate his remnants. And then he actually ate after one year. That is the glories of devotional service. So then there is a life of Shobari Muni. Shobari Muni was a rishi who was also doing tapasya in the river Yamuna. And Shobari Muni, he once offended Garudji. Garudji's natural food was what? Garudji's natural food was fish. So Garuda used to come and eat the fish, and he used to, in Garuda is Garuda, he purposely used to come and eat in front of that Shobari Muni also. He used to come and he used to take away the big fishes. And Shobari Muni used to get upset. What is going on? And all the fishes, they used to come and complain to Shobari Muni, stop this Garudji, this is na insafi hai. Ya atyachar hai. So actually the fishes who were eaten by Garudji were getting delivered. So Shobari Muni, he cursed Garuda that Garud, if you come here again in this water, you will be killed. I curse you, you will die. So Garud to cannot die, not possible. But Garudji, out of respect for a sadhu, because the sadhu has uttered a curse, out of that respect, he said, okay, I will not come. So he used to sit in Garuda Govind Mandir in that place and used to watch all the pastimes of Krishna. So Shobari Muni, he fell down because of this curse. When you curse somebody who is superior to you, you fell down from your spiritual life. When you offend someone, who is very advanced in bhakti, then first thing has happened is that you will fall down from your Krishna conscious life. So Shobari Muni fell. Shobari Muni, he fell down, and a yogi who was performing tapasya, he developed a desire to get married. And he gave up his bhajan and he went looking for a wife, looking for a girl. And then there was a Mandata Maharaj, he was ruling Mathura at that time. He went and asked, I want to get married. Where are your daughters? And Mandata Maharaj said, please have a look at yourself. He did not say that, but because he was a yogi, he was performing tapasya underwater for so many years. Imagine what might have happened to his face. And all of his daughters rejected. And he was saying, why did they reject me? So he went and looked himself and he said, oh, I'm so ugly. So by his yogic powers, he made himself very, very beautiful. And then he went again to Maharaj Mandata, and this time all the 50 were ready to marry him. Nature of the material world, Baba. So then further, there is the dynasty of Sagar Maharaj and all, how Sagar Maharaj met Kapila Dev, and then the dynasty of Anshuman, and then there comes the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra in the 9th canto. So Lord Ramachandra, four Vishnu Tattvas became the son of Dashrath Maharaj: Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrugna. So Lord Ramachandra, he came actually to kill all the demoniac people, especially a demon like Ravana. And we all know this amazing pastimes that the Supreme Lord, how he was very careful in serving his, he himself has a role of a son. He used to love his father, love his mother, take good care of them, and follow their instructions. So there was a time when what was the name of that of a personality who came to take away Vishwamitra ji. Vishwamitra ji, he came. Vishwamitra was troubled by a lot of asuras, and Vishwamitra ji came to Dashratha. That Dashrath ji, I want your son Ram for a particular battle. And when Dashrath Maharaj heard about it, he said, I cannot give my Ram to anybody. Because Dashrath was very, very attached to Ram. Lord Ramachandra, Supreme Lord is your son. Naturally, you will be very, very attached. So he was very, very, Dashrath Maharaj was very, very attached to Lord Ramachandra. He said, Vishwamitra ji, if you want me, I can come and fight. He said, you cannot fight with them. They are meant to be delivered. They are meant to be killed by Ramachandra. You give me that. And he refused. But then then Kaikai came, Kaushalya came, they were explained, and even Vashishji explained that Vishwamitra ji is asking is for benefit of Ram only. Vishwamitra is so powerful that he himself can kill, but there is a reason why he has come here and asking Ramchandra to go with him. So allow. So Dashrath Maharaj allowed Lakshman and Ram to go. So when they killed the demon and they were traveling along with Vishwamitra Muni, and Lord Ramachandra as a student served Vishwamitra Muni very nicely. Ramachandra and Lakshmana, they used to massage Lord Vishwamitraji's lotus feet. Supreme Lord, but he used to massage the feet of Vishwamitraji. And what used to happen? The Lord used to massage Vishwamitra's feet. And then Lord Ramachandra used to go to sleep. Lakshmana used to massage Lord Ramachandra's feet. And then Lakshmana used to remain awake. He never used to sleep. Lakshmana never slept. So that was the way how the culture was, rich culture. These days, the relationship between both the brothers should be they have spent their childhood together, their youth together. So they should have such loving dealings with each other. So that's what how perfect the dealing should be between the two brothers, between a husband and a wife, all such dealings between a son and a mother. So all these dealings we can learn from the life of Lord Ramachandra. So there was Janaka Maharaj has organized a big event, Swayamvara ceremony, so that Sita, his daughter Sita, will get married. And Vishwamitra Muni happened to come there with Lakshmana and Ramachandra. And it so happened that Sita, when she was small, there was a big bow which was there in the family of Dasharath Maharaj, and it was coming from dynasties, and it was very heavy. 300 people, 400 people used to come together and they used to lift that, and Sita used to lift that bow playfully also. So Dasharath Maharaj understood that if her husband also should be able to, Janaka Maharaj understood that if someone has to get married to Sita, he should be able to lift this bow of Lord Shiva and should be able to tie it up. So that will be proof that he is a fit person for Sita. So Swayamvar was organized, everybody came, even Ravana came there, and he could not do anything. All the great kings, they came and made attempt, they could not even forget about lifting, they cannot even think of carrying that weight. So many of them, they fell unconscious and they said, no, this is not possible. Vishwamitra Muni, this Rama and Lakshman, they were sitting there keeping quiet. And then Janaka Maharaj, he said that, are there no Kshatriyas left in the planet? At that time, Lakshmanji got very offended. Lakshmanji said, hey, what are you saying? My Ramachandra is there, my brother is here. How can you, Raghuvanshis are here. How can you say that? Then welcome, come and do it. So with the permission of Vishwamitra Muni, Lord Ramachandra went, picked up that bow, tied the knot, and it got broken. This is how the Sita married Lord Ramachandra. So when they all came to Ayodhya and everything was going fine, but one particular incident which did not go well. There was a turning point in Ayodhya. There is a Kala Chakrane Ghatana Kram mein Aisa Chakra Chalaya. So there was a turning point in Ayodhya. What was the turning point? The turning point was that Dasharath Maharaj and Kaikeyi, they were very close with each other, right? As a husband and wife. And Kaikeyi did a big problem. Kaikeyi revealed her secret to an unauthorized person, a non-bona fide person. The relationship between husband and wife is so crucial and important that if somebody third party comes in the middle, the relationship is going to get disturbed. Everything was going on peaceful between, he had 3 wives, Dasharath Maharaj, but everything was going very smoothly, there was no problem. But Kaikeyi did a mistake by revealing a secret of their personal life to Manthara. And Manthara, she started to create a situation for Kaikeyi, brainwashing her. We should be very careful, husband and a wife should be very careful that they should not reveal their secrets to anybody. Not the good secrets, neither bad secrets. Nothing should be revealed. It should be kept between them. Otherwise, some mantra will come in the form of a male or a female, and he or she might spoil your life. And what happened? When Kaikeyi revealed this mantra, started brainwashing her and told her that once Lord Ramachandra becomes the king, you will become the servant of Kaushalya. And what is going to happen? Bharat Maharaj is going to, broom in Ayodhya. He is going to become servant here. He will have no value here. So make sure that Ayodhyapati should be Bharat and let Ramachandra go. But he said, how will this happen? He said, you have that boon, 2 boons. Dasharath Maharaj gave her 2 boons. Dasharath Maharaj went to fight against the demons on behalf of the demigods, and at that time he got stuck in a battle and he was almost injured. At that time Kaikeyi very swiftly, very smartly supported Dasharath Maharaj, and she fought on behalf of her husband and protected Dasharath Maharaj, and he became victorious. So Dasharath Maharaj gave her a boon, and that time Kaikeyi said, what boon I want from you? His chaste wife, what will she say? I don't want any boon. I will keep this with me. Whenever I want, I'll ask you. And then she went and told this to Manthara. And this created chaos in the life. Lord Ramachandra had to go to forest. And what happened here? Lord Ramachandra had to go to the forest, and the situation, everything changed. So Lord Ramachandra went to forest and killed. He went and started killing the demons. And gradually, Sita also decided to go with Lord Ramachandra. Lakshman also came, and then Sita was kidnapped by Ravana. And Lord Ramachandra went. He built a setu, 100 yojana pull. Can you imagine someone building a bridge of 100 yojana? 100 yojana. So the bridge was built, and Lord Ramachandra, along with the help of Sugriv and others, they went to Lanka and killed Ravana, and then established dharma. So that is the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. We all know that. Then I want to speak on that family tree also. So let me complete the last topic of today's discussion is Yayati Maharaj. And with this we'll complete the 9th canto. So Yayati Maharaj, in the line of Yayati Maharaj only, the two of his sons, Yadu and Puru, from the Yadu came the Yaduvansha, from Puru came all the Pandavas and all. So Yayati Maharaj is very, very important person. Yayati Maharaj, there is a love story in Yayati Maharaj's life. Let's end today with a love story, triangular love story. Not just love story, but triangular love story. All the Bollywoods and Hollywood movies, they derive all the lessons from Shastra only. Otherwise, how will they get idea? So, the inspiration of the Bollywood also Shastra only. Yayati Maharaj's life. Yayati Maharaj was a Kshatriya, right? And Yayati Maharaj had two wives. One is Devayani, one is Sharmishta. Now, who is Devayani, who is Sharmishta? Devayani is the daughter of Shukracharya. Shukracharya, you know, Asur Guru, Shukracharya. Sharmishta was the daughter of Varshaparva. Varshaparva was a disciple of Shukracharya. Varshaparva was a demonic family, demonic king, but he was a disciple of Shukracharya. So naturally, what was Sharmishta was also servant to Devayani, because Guru's daughter. So everybody was naturally subservient to Guru's daughter. Sharmishta had 100 dasis with her, accompanying her always, because she was a Kshatriya, she was a king, she was a king's daughter. So Devayani, Sharmishta, they were very good friends. Once what happened, Devayani, Sharmishta, all these girls, they were happily playing around, and they decided, let's go and swim. So they went for swimming, and they kept all their clothes outside. They kept all their clothes outside, and they went naked in the waters, and they were swimming there, enjoying their sports. At that time, just at that time, that when this thing was happening, Lord Shiva, along with Parvati, was passing from there itself. And as soon as these girls, when they saw that Lord Shiva is coming and all of them were bathing naked, they hurried on the shore, and whatever it came their hand, they grabbed themselves and they wanted to cover their bodies. And what happened was that in a situation like this, Sharmishta, unknowingly, she took up Devayani's clothes and put it on her just to protect her from the situation. And Devayani, she got very, very upset. He said, Sharmishta, you rascal, you nonsense, don't you know that we are Brahmanas, we are worshippers, Supreme Lord worships us, we are so powerful people, you are our disciple, and you are wearing the clothes of your Guru? Sharmishta, what is your consciousness? We are your worshipable deities, you should be worshipping us, forget about you, the whole world worships us. Vishwatma Pavan Bhagavan also worships us. And just like a dog eats just like a dog when he comes and eats the havish from the yajna, similarly, you, like a dog, you have come and touched my clothes. what are you doing? And the Sharmishta, when she heard that I'm a dog and this and that, her Kshatriya spirit rose up. And then she said, then she went little more ugly. That what are you? You are living your livelihood because of us. My father is maintaining you. You are our Purohit, not our Guru. In your house the bread comes because of my father. We give you payment and that's why everything happens. What is your qualification? And then she got so upset because of the words. She told all these ladies that, girls, take this Sharmishta, remove her clothes completely and throw her in the well. So they all did. They followed Sharmishta's instruction. Devayani was thrown in a dry well to die. Yayati Maharaj was ruling the whole world at that time. Yayati Maharaj was ruling the whole world at that time. Yayati Maharaj happened to be traveling in the same forest where this incident was happening. Coincidence. Yayati Maharaj was in the same forest and he was thirsty and he was looking for a well. So he was looking for a well and he went near the well and he just saw inside and there was naked girls standing there and he was surprised, who is that? Yayati Maharaj was a dharmanishta personality. Even though the woman was naked, but his mind, he thought this is my praja and she's in difficulty, so his mind did not went in adharma. Previously, the kings, the sages were such powerful personalities that their mind used to never go in adharma. Even in their dreams, they used to never think of adharma. So they were such powerful personalities. So Devayani was in difficulty. So as a praja, she said, you are my praja. Who are you? Let me help you first. So Yayati Maharaj first gave his own clothes, Uttariya and other clothes to Devayani and gave her a hand and brought her outside. When Devayani came outside catching the hand of Yayati Maharaj, the catching of the hand, the girl and a boy catches the hand during the marriage. Right? During the marriage ceremony, the boy and the girl, they catch their hand each other and they promise to live together for 7 births. Right? Even they live for 70, 80 years, that is good. So Devayani, when she said that, thank you so much for bringing me out, but since you have caught hold of my hand, you are my husband and I am your wife. I said, come on. If that principle is to be applied now, Devayani is saying that you are my husband and I am he is saying, Baba, take it easy, You are in difficulty, you are in the well. I happened to be here, I was thirsty, I saw you, I just brought you outside. All this marriage and all, please don't talk. By the way, who are you? Tell me, who are you? And she said that, my name is Devayani and I am the daughter of Shukracharya. And as soon as he heard Shukracharya ji, Yayati Maharaj said that, you go home, you want some help, we will make some arrangement where you peacefully go home and don't all talk all this because of marriage and all. He said, no, you have caught hold of my hand, you are my husband, I am your wife. This arrangement is happened by the will of the Lord. How can you deny it? He said, Yayati Maharaj said, you are a daughter of a Brahmana, Shukracharya, not an ordinary Brahmana, your brother. Father is very powerful, Baba. Who will mess with your father? Who want to have a Sasurji like Shukracharya ji? Who wants to take Panga? You cannot say anything to Devayani. If such a powerful Sasurji is there, if a powerful father-in-law is there, then you are like hand-packed person. You cannot do anything. Daat bhi nahi sakte. You cannot shout on her, you cannot scream at her, you cannot do anything. Anything happens, she'll run away to her father. Anything happens, she'll run away to father. Anything happens, there will be pressure from the father-in-law's side. So Yayati Maharaj just imagined everything and said, no, this is not going to work out. You go, and she was insisting, no. And then she narrated a story that once, what happened, that Brahaspati's son, Kach, came to learn Mrita Sanjeevani Vidya from my father. And at that time, when he was learning Mrita Sanjeevani Vidya from my father, I fell in love with Kach. And after the lessons were over, I went, requested Kach, please get married to me. And Kach said, how can I get married to you? You are the daughter of my guru. Just like your guru, your father is worshipable to me, so is you. So you are like my worshipable deity. I cannot marry you. I don't have such inclination towards you. I worship you. He said, forget about worship. If you don't marry to me, then I curse you that whatever you have heard from my father, you will forget that. But Kach was also very smart. I know something went wrong. Every day the devatas used to come and they used to take lessons from Kach. So all the knowledge was already transferred. Smrta Sanjani Vidya was already transferred. So Kach cursed her back, saying that you will never get married to a Brahmana, your husband will be Kshatriya. And he said, because of this curse, this is the will of the providence that Yayati Maharaj, you are here and you are my husband and I am your wife. He said, Yayati Maharaj said, okay, all these things are okay, but the proposal has to come from your father. I will not come with the proposal. He said, you're okay, na? I will make the arrangement. You don't worry. So Devyani goes back and narrates the whole incident about Sharmishta and everything with mirch and masala, everything to Shukracharya. And Shukracharya got very upset, very angry, and he started walking straight to Vrushaparva's house, that this Vrushaparva rascal, he has troubled my daughter, and she was she was about to die. Yayati Maharaj came and protected her. So Shukracharya, when the news went that Shukracharya was angry, Shukracharya was upset, and he was walking straight towards Vrushaparva, King Vrushaparva, he took all his army and everybody and he came to surrender to Shukracharya ji. And he offered his offenses in the road itself. And he said, Gurudev, please forgive me, please forgive our family, this and that. And he said that I have no problem. Sadhus, actual genuine sadhus, if you have committed some offenses to them, if you simply go and offer your respectful obeisances, prostrated obeisances to them, they will forgive you. Because sadhus, they are paradukha dukhi. They cannot see others in trouble. So they will forgive you immediately. But that genuinely one should go, and if one surrenders to the sadhu, sadhu will forgive. So Vrushaparva said that to Shukracharya said to Vrushaparva, I have no problem. If you can satisfy Devyani, if Devyani is pleased, then I have no problem. So he went to Devyani and said, daughter, Devyani, what do you want? He said, whomsoever my father gets married, whomsoever my father arranges my marriage with, whomsoever that may be, your daughter Sharmishta, along with her 1,000 maid servants, will be my servants for this life. Time is very powerful, dear devotees. Never play with time. You might have certain post and position because of which you might suppress somebody, compress somebody, but tables turn. Time passes by and that weak person becomes very strong, and then you are in a position where you have to serve that person. So don't play with time. Devyani was in a situation, is a commanding position now, and Sharmishta had to agree to what? The proposal of Devyani. So Sharmishta, along with 1,000 servants, became the servant of Devyani. And Devyani got married to Yayati Maharaj with a grand celebration. And then Shukracharya called Yayati. Hey Yayati, come here. He told, I'm giving you a warning. What is the warning? Yes, father-in-law, what is the warning? Sharmishta is going with you. Make sure that Sharmishta, you don't get married to her. She is also Shatrani. She might come with a proposal, but do not get married to her. If you get married to her, then I will put you in trouble. So Devyani and Yayati Maharaj had a very beautiful life. Devyani was serving him with all means, and Yayati Maharaj was very pleased with Devyani. Perfect service, perfectly. Everything was going on all perfect. Everything was smooth. Devyani gave birth to 2 children also. And then Sharmishta, she came once to meet Yayati Maharaj. Something has to happen. Some spice has to happen. गृहस्थ आश्रम में कुछ ना कुछ चलता रहना चाहिए, इस तरह का नहीं. So Sarmishta came and he met Yayati Maharaj and he said, Yayati Maharaj, I am a Kshatrani, I am staying with you. You have got married to a Brahmani girl, and you are enjoying your life. I am a Kshatrani, I am staying here. I want that you should get married to me as well. Please, I propose you that please get married to me. Kshatriyas, they cannot reject two things: a proposal for marriage and a proposal for a gambling match. And Yayati Maharaj, when he received the proposal from Sharmishta, he was thinking that as per my dharma, I should not, she must naturally, I am the protector for her as well, and she should naturally, that she's Shatrani, she should become my wife. But he was remembering Shukracharya ji, and then although he remembered that he may land in trouble, but he thought that I may land in trouble, but this is my dharma, so let me follow my dharma. So he got married to Sharmishta in a closed ceremony, and then gradually Sharmishta gave birth to 3 sons. Once what happened, that Devayani was roaming in a garden. There was a big garden in the middle, and there was a palace of Yayati Maharaj and Devayani, and then the other end of the palace, other garden, there was a house of all the dasis and everybody. And once Devayani was roaming, and she saw three beautiful boys who were looking exactly like Yayati Maharaj. So Devayani went forward and asked, "Who is your mummy?" He said, "Sharmishta." "Who is your papa?" "Well, Yayati Maharaj." And as soon as he heard Yayati Maharaj, she understood everything. And she decided that she understood everything, and she started straight walking to Shukracharya. No business going back to Yayati Maharaj asking, nothing. She started walking straight to Shukracharya, Supreme Court. Yayati Maharaj got the news that Devayani is upset. She has found out about the 3 sons, and now she is going to Shukra. Yayati Maharaj, who is the king of the whole world, he was ruling the whole world, conquered so many kings. That personality started running behind his wife, Devayani. "Hey Devayani, ruk ja. Hey Priye, hey Priye, please don't go. This whole life will mess up. I will not even look at Sharmishta. Forget about the 3 sons. I will abandon her. Don't go." And Yayati Maharaj tried to pacify her by sweet words, by giving lot of promises, this and that. All the attempts were turned into a failure. Nothing was working. And finally, that Yayati Maharaj, who was the ruler of the whole world, he put his head at the feet of Devayani, said, "Devayani, please don't go to Shukracharya ji. Our whole life will be in trouble." And then Devayani kicked Yayati Maharaj away. And Yayati Maharaj and then she entered the house of Shukracharya ji, and she narrated everything to Shukracharya. And Yayati Maharaj just was following her. And Shukracharya, understanding her that her daughter was dissatisfied with the husband, very proudly Shukracharya said, "Yayati, you become an old man now. You become old now." And Yayati immediately turned into an old man. And Yayati Maharaj started to laugh. Now Shukracharya is also old, Yayati Maharaj is also old. Yayati Maharaj started to laugh. He said, "Fool number 1 you are. You spoiled your daughter's life. She is not satisfied in her desires for sense enjoyment, and now you made me old and she is young. Now how you..." And then Shukracharya realized, I should have given some other punishment to her. Now I have spoiled my daughter's life only. Then Shukracharya said, "Yayati Maharaj, can you make some adjustment?" I said, No, please. "What adjustment? You made me old, now what? Make me young again." "No, I can't do that, You can exchange your old age with anybody's youth." Pagal hai kya? He said, "Are you mad? Who will do that? Which sane person will accept my old age and give his youth to me? Are you okay?" He said, No, this is the only way out. And he said, "I bless you, that go in anybody in the kingdom." But so everybody was announced and nobody came. And then finally it went to Devyani's sons, first two sons, and the first son were requested, he refused. Second son, he refused. Then it was turned to go to Sharmishta's son. Time is very powerful. Sharmishta had three sons. He went to the first son, he rejected it. Went to second son, he rejected it. Then he finally went to Puru. The first son, Yati, he refused because he wanted to practice Krishna consciousness. He said that if I give you my old age to you, my youth to you, and I accept your old age, I also have desires for sense enjoyment. And how, if after 1,000 years or some days, if you again give me back my youth, but that was a time actually I am old, then if I take vanaprastha, I will have desires to enjoy this material world, and I won't be able to practice renunciation. That's why I don't want. So finally Puru, when he came to Puru said, only 2-3 minutes more, okay? So Puru said, when he came to Puru said that, my dear father, it's such a shame on me that you have to come and ask for this. There are four types of students, or there are 4 kinds of disciples. First category is that the son understands the mood of the father and accordingly carries out his instructions. That is the first class son. He knows, the disciple knows the mission of Guru. The disciple knows what his Guru wants. He's manobhisht. The disciple knows that and accordingly carries out his instructions. That is the first class disciple. That is the first class son. The second class son is that the Guru has to tell to the disciple, the father has to give instruction to the disciple or his son, and that the son carries out. That is the second class disciple. That is second class son. Third class son is that the Guru tells the disciple, the father tells the son, but his sons considered it as a burden, but still he does and carries out. He says, the disciple says, "ए पूरे संसार में इतने सारे शिष्य मेरे गुरु महाराज के मैं ही मिला. My spiritual master has so many disciples and he gets only me to give these instructions." This is third category of disciple, third category of student, son. Fourth category is that he doesn't carry out the instructions of the spiritual master, neither the father. Such people are not called putra, they are mutra. They are urine of the father, nothing else. So Puru Maharaj gave the youth to Yati Maharaj, took his old age, and Yati Maharaj for 1,000 years he enjoyed. Now Yati Maharaj, although it might seem that he was a personality who was absorbed always in sense gratification, but still he was dharmanishta. He was performing all those yagyas and sacrifices for the benefit of the citizens on a regular basis. And there were events organized. When such events are organized, sadhus often they come to visit. Whenever yajna is organized, sacrifices are organized, a lot of brahmanas, a lot of sadhus they come. And one of such events are organized, Narad Muni came there. And Narad Muni, when he was asked to give a class, Bhagavatam class, Narad Muni gave a discourse on Amrish Maharaj's life. And how Amrish Maharaj was 24 hours engaged in service of the Lord. Amrish Maharaj, through his eyes, used to always see the form of the Lord. Through his hands, he used to broom the temple of the Lord. Through his legs, he used to go for parikrama. Through his body was involved in the service of the Lord and the devotees. And he was, with his ears, used to always hear about Krishna's name, fame, pastimes. So Yati Maharaj, when he heard about the glorious life of Amrish Maharaj, who was also a king, Yati Maharaj thought to himself, what an abominable life I am living. I am living a life of sense enjoyment, and here is a king who is living a life of a devotee. That was a turning point in the life of Yati Maharaj, and he decided, that's it. He called Puru. First he called his wife, explained everything to Devyani, and he told that I am giving everything back to Puru. I am becoming old, and I have to go back. I have to go and take Vanaprastha. So Yati Maharaj did that, explained everything to Devyani. Devyani also understood and followed her husband to the forest, and that's how Yati Maharaj attained liberation. And then Devyani also, she prayed Namastubhyam Bhagavate Vasudevaya Vedasya Sarva Bhuta Divasaya Shantaya Brahaya Namaha. She also offered obeisance to Supreme Lord and gave up her life. And in this way, husband and wife both perfected that existence. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. 9th canto is complete. Whew. Family tree, yes. Yeah. Oh, Krishna. So we can start from tomorrow, the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Oh, today was the longest. Okay. So, all of you come here, come ahead. If, make sure that the whole screen is visible to all of you. You can come here, no problem. Yeah, so let's start from Lord Krishna. From Lord Krishna, 3 Karanadaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu comes. So from Garbhodaksha Vishnu comes Brahmaji. From Brahma comes Swayamva Manu. And Prabhu, can you go to the extreme left? You know, from Brahma comes Swayam Manu, then Marichi, Pulasya Rishi, Angira Rishi. You know, you are asking about different rishis, how they are born. So they are all the sons of Brahma. Angira Muni, Vasishta Muni, Pulahana, Atreya, Bhrigu, Kratu, Lord Shiva also born. 4 Kumaras, Narad Muni. So they are also born. Atri is born. So Atri is all. These are all sons of Brahma. Okay, and let's go to Swayamva Manu. So from Swayamva Manu, we have now heard about Priyavrat Maharaj, Uttanapad, Akuti, Prasuti, and go to the right, Devahuti. Okay, so from Devahuti we know Lord Kapila was born. They had 9 daughters. So 7 daughters, other daughters, and Kala and Anusuya. And from Kala was from husband is Marichi, and the sons were Kashyapa and Purnima and others. From Anusuya was married to Atri Rishi, and from was born the Durvasa Rishi. Durvasa Rishi was the partial incarnation of Lord Shiva. Now, Prabhu, can you just go ahead? Just go up again. Little. Yeah, from Anusuya was married to Atri. You know, there is pastimes of Anusuya and Atri, which I did not narrate probably. But when Anusuya wanted to have Lord Shiva, Brahma and Vishnu as her sons, so they came, and so one of the son was Durvasa Rishi. In the Hindi movies they show that Dattatreya is their son, but it is not like that. Okay, there are 3 children who were born to Anusuya. One is Durvasa Rishi, one is Anasa Dattatreya. Dattatreya was the partial incarnation of Vishnu, Durvasa was the partial incarnation of Shiva, and Soma was the partial incarnation of Brahma. Okay, so that I hope you get clarity like that. Now, why this is very important, this lineage is very important, because our Bhagavatam is not a myth. Bhagavatam is how we are getting this. This is how our lineage is there, is mentioned very clearly. No religion, no people can explain this. This is our history, this is our scriptures, and we can trace our ancestors in this way. This is by which we can know that nothing is myth. We have all the details very clearly. Then Prabhu, you go further go up, Prabhuji. From Prasuti. Prasuti is the daughter of Prasuti got married to Daksha Prajapati, and from Daksha Prajapati Sati was born, the wife of Lord Shiva, right? Then Aditi was born, Diti was born, Maruti was born, and other daughters were born. So Aditi became the so Kashyapji got married to around 13 daughters. Yes, so Aditi was the mother of the demigods, and she got married to Kashyapa. Aditi was the daughter of the mother of the demons. Aditi was the mother of the demigods, Diti was the mother of the demons. Hiranyaksh, Hiranyakashipu were born to Diti, and Indra and all were born to Aditi. Then Murti, she became the son of, she got married to Dharma, and from her, Nara and Narayana were born. Okay? Okay, then next line. Then come to Akuti. Akuti, husband is Ruchi, and from it came the Yagya, the incarnation of Lord Shri Krishna, and Dakshina. Then come Uttanpad. Uttanpad had two wives. Okay, we remember the famous Suruchi and Suniti. Suniti had a famous son as Dhruva, and Suruchi was Uttama. Uttama left the world abruptly. He did not have any sons. So from Dhruva, Vatsara and Utkala was born. From that Pushparanaha, from that Vishata, and from Sarva Tejaha. From that comes the Chakshusha Manu, and like that, then there is the lineage of Anga. From Anga came Vena. We discussed this Vena, and from Vena came Nishada, and Nishada was the son also. From Vena was died, and from his body the sages brought Nishada first. He was also like a son, and Pruthu was also like the son of Vena. So Pruthu was born. From Pruthu come Vijitashvaha, okay, and then from it came Havir Dhanaha, and Bharishta. From Bharishta came Prachetas. Prachetas came Daksha again, wife Akshini. So Daksha, he was killed, right? When Daksha he was killed, and then he was given a head of a goat. So Daksha could not survive. Goat ka sar lake kitne din ghumenge? So how will So Daksha, if he have a body of a head of a goat, a laughing stock, man. So Daksha gave his life, and Daksha was again born as Prasuti's husband in the next life. Okay. So then Daksha gave birth to initially 10,000 sons, and then Narada came and preached to them. They all became devotees, sannyasis. Then again he gave birth to 10,000 sons. Narada came and preached to them. Again they became devotees. And then then that is the place where Daksha cursed Narada Muni that you cannot stay in one place. And then Brahmaji told Daksha Prajapati, Baba, you make daughters. Why are you making sons? You make daughters. Narada Muni doesn't come to near the daughters. So his 60 daughters were married, and from 60 daughters, when they got married, they gave birth to 6 different kinds of species. Okay, so Daksha Prajapati means he's specialized for expanding the population. Okay, next is, who is next? Priyavart Maharaj. Okay, Priyavart Maharaj has a daughter who got married to Shukracharya. From that we know Devyani, famous incident, and then from Yayati Maharaj, there is a descendant, then we'll come to Atri Maharaj's place, and then you'll understand. Then from, can you go a little up? Yeah, then Priyavart Maharaj also had 13 sons. 3 became sannyasis, 3 became manus, and 7 became the ruler of 7 islands. Okay, and if you get time in future, we'll discuss all these things in details with the dynasty. Then Bhagavatam becomes very nourishable. Then from one of the sons was Angidra, and then from them 9 sons were there, and from there came King Nabhi. From King Nabhi became Lord Rishabdev, whom we discussed, Shaktavesh Avatar. From Rishabdev were born Bharat Maharaj. Okay. Then the 9 Yogendras, the famous 9 Yogendras, whom we will be discussing in the 11th canto of Bhagavatam, they were also the son of Rishabdev, and there are 90 other sons. And from Bharat Maharaj, there are many other descendants, and from there were Maharaj Gaya. Okay. Next, Prabhuji, we can go to the next is, now let's come to Marichi. From Marichi was born Kashyap. Kashyap was married to Diti Aditi. Now, it is not double, it is same Diti Aditi. It is just their lineage is explained here. So from Diti came 49 Maruds. Now, I'll very briefly describe the 49 Maruds. So when Diti was, when the kingdom was gone to the Devatas, and the Devatas took away the kingdom, Diti was very upset, and she performed a vrata to please the Lord. So she wanted that Kashyap ji should kill Indra actually. Okay, so and when Kashyap Muni understood that Diti had such a desire to kill Indra, he did not like that. So Kashyap ji very intelligently gave her a process of 1 year, and she was performing devotional service to the Lord, and I think it's Payovrat, 1 year. Payovrat was done, And for that 1 year, her consciousness became purified. But Indra, who knew that in the womb of Diti, there is a person who is going to kill me. So Indra became a servant, and he was started serving Diti, his own stepmother, right? And while serving, Diti once did mistake, and Indra got an opportunity. Indra entered the womb of Diti, and it killed that son into 7 pieces with the Vajra. And that son, because of the power of that Vrata, were so powerful that its 7 sons turned into 49. One son got turned into 7, and then Indra cut each 7 into more 7 pieces. And then they all became 49, and then Indra stopped. Because all of them had the body, all of them had the consciousness, and then Indra was ashamed, and Indra came out and begged forgiveness from his mother. And then this 49, although they were born from Diti, they were asuras, but they were accepted as demigods, and they became 49 maruts, and they are serving with Indra. Okay. Then Diti gave birth to Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu. From Hiranyakashipu came Prahlad, from Prahlad came Virochan, Virochan came Bali, from Bali came Bana, and 19 and others, so on. Okay, so this we have discussed. Next, go through the left. Okay, now let's go to Atri. From Atri came Soma. Soma came Buddha. Buddha is that one of the grahas, Buddha. Then from Buddha was Pururava Maharaj. So Pururava Maharaj was Pururava Maharaj once saw Urvashi, right? And Urvashi, she was Apsara. So Pururava Maharaj was very madly in love with Urvashi. So Urvashi actually, she heard about the glories of Pururava Maharaj, and she herself came to get married to Pururava Maharaj. But Pururava Maharaj got so attached that it was very difficult for him to give up Urvashi. So Urvashi, when her prescribed time with Pururava Maharaj is over, she went again back to heavenly planets, and Pururava Maharaj became mad for her. And so what happened, Pururava Maharaj, he once met Urvashi again in Kurukshetra, and there she agreed that I will spend 1 night with you in a year, and that's how they were. But Pururava Maharaj was not getting satisfied. So Urvashi told Pururava Maharaj that if you worship certain way the Gandharvas, you might attain me. So Pururava Maharaj worshipped the Gandharvas, and after he gave up his body, he attained the planet where Urvashi is there. So he is still there, happily serving, being Urvashi. Then from there came Ayu, from there came Vijaya, and from different descendants are there like Gadi, and from Gadi came Shayati and Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra's wife was Menaka. From their daughter was Shakuntala, and then from Gadi came Satyavati. From Satyavati came Janmadagni. From Janmadagni was Parshuram. We could not discuss the Lord Parshuram's pastimes today. Probably we can start with tomorrow that, and then we can enter the 10th canto. Then comes the famous from Ayu came Nahusha and Kshatrā Vradha, and there are many descendants, and there was a famous Shaunak Rishi, whose son Shamik Rishi cursed Maharaj Parikshit. Then from Ayu came Nahusha. Nahusha also became Indra. Okay, when Indra killed Vritrasur, at that time he went to Mansarovar for performing tapasya. At that time Nahush Maharaj was the king, but Nahush Maharaj again he became a serpent because because of some offense he committed. So then his sons were Yayati and 5 others. From Yayati had 2 sons, Yadu and Puru. From Yadu came the dynasty where we have Vrishnis and Andaka, and from there we have Surasena and Ahuka. Please go down behind. And then we have from Surasena the son of Vasudeva was born. From Vasudeva had Lord Krishna, Subhadra and Lord Balram. And from Surasena also had Kunti, and from Kunti had the 5 the Pandavas and the Karna and all, right? And then from Andaka there are many descendants like Ahuka and then Ugrasena and Devaka. So Devaki and on all the daughters and Kamsa and all were born here. Okay. So this is the and then if you go further up. Okay. From Puru came Dushmanta, then the Bharat. Again this Bharat is different Bharat, not the Jad Bharat. Then came the Bharadvaja Rishi. Then from him came Manyu, Nara, Sankrati. From Sankrati came Rantidev. Rantidev also was a great king. great tapasvi. From him came Ajamida. From Ajamida came Nila. Then from him came Drupada, the famous Drupada. And then Drupada had the sons called Drishyadumna and Draupadi and all. And from Agameda only Riksha, Kuru, Jahanu and all of them were born. And from them, from the Kuru was born the Shantanu. From Shantanu, 3 sons were there, Vichitravirya, Bhishma and Chitrangad. From Vichitravirya had Pandu, Dhritarashtra and Vidura. And we all know the story from Pandu, Bhima. All the 5 Pandavas were there. From Arjuna was born Parikshit Maharaj and 3 other sons. From Parikshit Maharaj had a son called Janmejaya. And like that, the whole chart is there. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. "15 minutes.
Any questions? Because yesterday a couple of people found their questions they couldn't answer. And Amarnath won't be asking any. You had your turn.
There are no questions. Everything is sorted.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I don't want to take up too much time because it's getting late, but today's Prasad, there was a lot of spotlight on the Devi Devtas, the demigods.
Yeah.
And there seems to be some conflicting, from my perception, there seems to be some sort of confliction between their, how do I say this, like their gun and like their overall persona. Because in Samudra Manthan, we learned from there that, they worked as a team, they were in the mode of goodness, they were helping each other get the Amrit, and it's like a good persona was there. But then in Gajendra Moksha, they were just kind of sitting back and watching Gajendra suffer, and it's a natural inclination to help someone who's suffering. So how do we understand and interpret this?
What are the last few sentences?
So in Gajendra Moksha, you mentioned that the Devi Devtas were watching Gajendra suffer, and they weren't intervening to help.
Yeah.
So how do we interpret this duality?
Actually, I'm very tired. Can we discuss it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm actually done for the day. Please forgive me. We can do it tomorrow. Questions? Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I heard your question, but my mind is not reciprocating. Very well.
It's a good question. Do you have an answer? So in Gajendra's prayer, he doesn't reference any particular devta. So when he's praying, he's prayed to the Supreme Lord. And he said, Lord Shivji was listening, and Lord Shivji is saying, well, you haven't directly referenced me, so I'm not going to come. Because he mentioned the Supreme Lord, that's why Lord Vishnu came. Because he didn't ask for help from any of the devtas. Because the prayer that he learned in his previous life was to the Supreme Personality of God.
Yes, it's correct.
So because he wasn't praying to them, they didn't help, they knew. No. Yeah.
So they weren't invoked. Okay, so that's very good. And thank you very much. So slight delay. Please don't go without prasad. It's pasta time. And those who like pasta, stay around.
Pastor.
Okay, that was good. So I'd just like to say, today we heard like great personalities like Bali Maharaj. So Bali Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, everybody knows the story, but Bali Maharaj sometimes gets forgotten. But to me, he's a real hero, He had everything, and when the Lord came, he just surrendered his everything to the Lordship.
I think Bali Maharaj has been
Sutala, his foot. Sutala. He said, please put your foot on mine. And that is surrender to the Lord directly, So that's what we should all do. We should surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord, and that's what Bali Maharaj taught us. And so Ambrish Maharaj, we heard about Ambrish Maharaj. Yayati and all that is pretty complex, but it's connection to Lord Krishna. So I think we should just spend time on the family tree for about 3-4 hours or whatever. I think then we can absorb it. Yes.
Was it the Patala that
Sutala Lok.
is it the Patala?
Yeah, it's hellish planets, Sutalok, and then the Lord said, I'll be there as well as your guardsman. And Krishna, when he went, when in his pastimes, Devaki Mata says, can you bring my 6 putras back? So Krishna went to Sutalok to meet Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj is impressed. Look, Lord Krishna has come to see me. How valued is Bali Maharaj that even Krishna went to see him and took the 6 sons from there. So we can discuss that later. So we all running late. So if everybody can stand up, we can say glorification to the Lordship. Okay, together. Namaste Narasingayam Praladadayani
Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Shilatanka Nakhalaye Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha Narsimha Tato Narsimha Bahe Narsimha Hrudaye Narsimha Narsimha Madim Sharanam Prapadye Tava Karakamalavare Nakha Madhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Narsingha Dev Jaya Narsingha Dev Jaya Narsingha Dev Jaya Narsingha Dev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad